Hello everyone. In this video, we will see what is shear force and bending moment diagrams and the beams, types of beams, and the types of loading due to which we get reactions over the supports and uh, how the shear force is varying across the length of the beam and the bending moment also. Here, the shear force we have already discussed about the shear force. Shear force is the force that is acting over the surface or parallel to the axis or tangential to the surface. And the one more meaning here, the shear force is the forces which causes shear is known as a shear force. And in this case, if you are having a long beam, and over that beam the forces are acting vertically. Vertically means the forces are perpendicular to the axis of that uh, member or a beam. So in that case, the shear force will be the resultant of all the forces that are acting over the beam vertically, and the force which is perpendicular to the axis, the resultant force which is perpendicular to the axis is known as a shear force. And we coming to the bending moment. Moment is uh, because of the moment we it occurs, it brings bending. The resultant moment causes bending. If the resultant moment is zero, there is no bending because the body is not moving, it is not in motion. The body is at rest only. But the applied forces, due to the applied forces, the resultant of the forces will causes either uh, deformation in the body, that is that induces elastic uh, within elastic limit it is in elastic deformation. If it is reaching to plastic zone, then that is plastic deformation. uh, Now bending moment, coming to bending moment. Moment is force into the perpendicular distance. Any force you take and the magnitude of that force into the perpendicular distance, and the direction is it will be either clockwise or anti-clockwise. That is, uh, you should take the direction like movement to its movement center. You should rotate along the direction of the force towards movement center. Then that will give you, see, if this is the force is acting and this is the movement center, this point is the movement center. When force is acting like this towards the movement center, you should bend. So this is bending moment direction. So this will be, so in this case it will be an anti-clockwise direction. So if this is the movement center and this is the force, so this will be the direction and it is a clockwise direction. Now coming to the introduction of shear force and bending moment again. Here it is given the same thing. See, the algebraic sum of the vertical forces at any section of the beam to the right and the left of the section is known as a shear force. Or a section, if you are having the algebraic sum of the vertical forces to the right or to the left, is known as a shear force. One force will be in downward, other force will be in upward. That is a reaction force that we will describe in the figure in detail. See here, according to this, a shear force diagram, coming to shear force diagram, is one which show the variation of uh, shear force along the length of the beam. Variation of shear force along the length of the beam is a shear force diagram, and the bending moment diagram is one which shows the variation of the bending moment along the length of the beam. Variation of the bending moment along the length of the beam is known as bending moment. Next, uh, types of beams. Coming to types of beams, we are having different types of beams here. Cantilever beam, simply supported beam, overhanging beam, fixed beams, continuous beams. And what are these types? We will see. Coming to the cantilever beam, a beam which is fixed at one end and free at other end is known as cantilever beam. Such beam is shown in figure 6.1. See, this is beam is some, it is made up of some structure. Beams, in the case of buildings, it is made up of some concrete and metallic members. So all joined together with some material, you will get a beam, or it can be a complete, it can be metallic, uh, while we are preparing, going for a structure in our constructions, or it can be in our mechanical, in our machines also. We'll find some beams, members, we find some members of different materials. So over that member, how the forces are acting, that we need to analyze. Now a beam, here this is a cantilever beam. This is fixed at one end and it is left free over the other end. Coming to, if the force is acting, in case if the force is acting in downward direction, you will find reaction in upward direction. And the bending moment, because of this force into this much length, force into this perpendicular distance will give a moment, and that moment is in clockwise direction. The bending moment will be in clockwise direction. But at this point, the bending moment will be maximum. You will find bend here. Here you will find dislocation of the point, but displacement of the points will be here. But the maximum bending moment will be more here. Next, next type, simply supported beam. You might have studied in engineering mechanics. Simply supported beam. There are two supports here, knife edge supports, and over these two supports we are placing a beam. So this beam will show reactions over to A and B. How do we find the reactions? If you are having a load vertically downward, so that load uh, should be equated with these two. So this load is equal to RA plus RB. RA plus RB is equals to the load, and the algebraic sum of the moments is also 0 here. There is no motion here. So, but when we do the section, at that time we will show how much shear force and bending moment is acting at that particular section point, either to the left or to the right. So here this the movement is 0 here, a resultant movement. So because of this force, algebraic, because the body is not in motion, that's why algebraic sum of forces and moments is 0. Other type is overhanging beam. If the end portion of the beam is extended beyond support, such beam is known as a overhanging beam. This is an overhanging beam. You have a simply supported beam with two supports A and B, and this portion is overhanging. Some extra portion is left beyond the supports. This type of beams are known as overhanging beams, and this is an overhanging portion. So till here it is a simply supported portion. Fixed beam. So 6.4 fixed beam means these two ends are fixed here. In cantilever beam, one end is fixed, other end is set free. Whereas this two ends are fixed here. There is no, we cannot find elongation here. If it is made up of some metal, if if it is subjected to heating, we won't find the elongation, but internal compressive stresses will induce because of the restriction. That is normal, but our intention is shear force and bending moment. That is what we need to see. We will get reactions at these two, and also the bending moments at the two fixed ends. Next, continuous beam. A beam which is provided more than two supports as shown in the figure is known as continuous beam. You have, it means it is a very long beam. For that, but then only we require more supports to hang it, to place it. So if in this case we call this as a continuous beam. So how many types of beams are there? There are five types shown here. They're very important: cantilever beam, simply supported beam, overhanging beam, fixed beam, and continuous beam. Next, types of loads. Uh, what is a force? An entity uh, which, due to which we get some work done, is a force. It has to do, either it has to do work, or it should develop some internal stresses, is a force. Now, now we are going to see how many types of forces that can act over a beam. We call it as a load, nothing but a force. How that load is going to act over that beam. Concentrated or point load. First one. Before that, we see that something is given here. A beam is normally horizontal, and the loads acting on the beam are generally vertical. This is the condition we should remember. A beam is a horizontal member over, it is placed over two supports, and it is, the forces that are acting are vertical. Concentrated or point load, uniformly distributed load, uniformly varying load. We have 3 points: concentrated or a point load, uniformly distributed load, or uniformly varying load. Three types are here. Or you may find the combination of point loads, uniformly distributed loads, or uniformly varying loads. Now, concentrated or a point load. A concentrated load is one which is considered to act at a point. A load which is or the summation of A load or a force which is acting at a point is known as a concentrated or a point load. See here, although in practice it must really be distributed over a small area. It, we say that it is a point load over a point that load is acting. But coming to real practice, it must be act over a small area. Then that is called as a point load. Uniformly distributed load, famously we call it as UDL, and that is, it is shown in this figure 6.7. You have two supports, it's a beam and uh, so many newtons per meter. The load that is acting is so many newtons per meter, and here uh, in order to convert this into point load, you can, but the effect of this UDL will be there. It will be at the center here. So Newton per meter into total this length, to multiply this length, then the concentration will be at the center point, the middle, and that can be uh, given here, shown here. Next, uniformly varying uniformly varying load. Here it is given uniformly distributed load. It is a uniformly distributed load is one which is spread over a beam in such a manner that rate of loading W is uniform along the length, and the rate of loading is expressed as W, so many newtons per meter run. We call it as Newton per meter run. So when you multiply with length of over which that UDL is acting, then that will give the concentration of the load, single load. So uniformly distributed load is represented as UDL. As we discussed, it is represented as UDL. Now, uniformly uh, see, for solving the numerical problems, the total uniformly distributed load is converted into a point load acting at the center of UDL distributed load. Yes, at the center means it is centroid. It is not the center. Centroid we should speak. For uniformly distributed load, it is a centroid. Now, uniform, uh, say W Newton per meter of load, the varying load is acting here. W Newton per meter is load is acting here. How we will concentrate to the point means W into its length of the beam, see, over which the complete UDL is acting. UDL can act till here also. At that time, you should take half of the length. If it is till middle, then it is half of the length we should take. And the force concentration will be, it is calculated to a single point, and that we will see how the analysis will happen in the next in coming videos also. So this W Newton per meter is there. This unit will convert into Newton. So when we multiply with the length, so many newtons of force is acting, load is acting over the centroid of this UDL. It is not centroid of the place, it is centroid of the UDL we should consider. Next, coming to uniform varying load, UVL. In short form, it is UVL. So at this point, the load is zero. As we move along the beam, the load will increases. It will keep on increasing. So uniformly it is increasing. Now you should find uh, So this area will provide us the concentration point, and that will act over the centroid of this triangle. Centroid means from here it is 2/3 of the height, or from the base it is 1/3. So from the top, from the vertex, it is 2/3 of the height, or from the base 1/3 of the height. For solving the numerical problem, the total load is equal to area of the triangle. See, in previous case, that is area of rectangle for UDL. For UVL, it is area of the triangle. And this total is summed to be acting at the center of gravity of the triangle at a distance 2/3 of the total length of the beam from the left end. It means when you are having a triangle, the centroid will be from the vertex. It is 2/3 of the height, or from the base it is 1/3. And so for to coming to the sign conventions, shear force and bending moment, this one, shear force and bending moment. Just now we were discussing about uh, the sign conventions, how it is coming, how the shear force is coming at the section. So general analysis is done like this. For sign convention we are discussing now, it is an example. There is a beam, a simply supported beam over two knife edges. This knife edge will restrict horizontal and vertical motions. It has it is acted upon by forces 5 kilonewton over a length of 4 meter, and at 5 meter distance 10 kilonewton, again 5 meter distance 8 kilonewton, and over B it is 1 meter length. Then you should find the reactions by using summation of vertical forces is equal to 0, and uh, the bending moment at a point is 0. Imagine the beam is cut into two pieces at a section XX and is separated as shown in the figure. Now, uh, these forces are acting here in vertically downward direction and vertically upward direction here. So 5 kilonewton, 10 and 8. So how we will get these reaction forces is a general procedure is there, that is equating the vertical forces, summation of vertically downward forces equal to summation algebraic sum of the forces is equal to 0 actually. Sigma fx or sigma fy is equals to 0. Next, bending moment at a section xx is, or to, and one more thing, you should take the moment at a point A. The moment at point A means now moments created by algebraic sum of the moments is zero. Again, same simple formula. Algebraic sum of moments is equal to zero. By using that, you can calculate the reaction forces Ra and Rb. So here, because of 5 kilonewton, the moment that is acting over the point A will be 5 into 4 in clockwise direction. Due to 10, it is 10 into 9 in clockwise direction, 8 into 5 plus 5 plus 14. So 8 into 14 in clockwise direction. And these moments, so this moment should be balanced with the moment created by this RB into 15, but the direction here it is in the direction here it is anti-clockwise direction. So this anti-clockwise moment direction is equal to clockwise moments. So finally, on solving both the equations, two equations, we will get Ra and Rb. So this is how we will find out the reaction forces. But coming to sectioning, how we there is no resultant force acting here. Result because of the reactions are supporting the forces that are acting over the beam. So that coming to the sectioning and sign conventions, we need to consider either positive or negative here.